The men's 800 metres, semi-finals, 3 of them, with the first 2 to go through to the final, so it's tough. And then 2 more on times. Tuka, the world leader this year, 1:42.51. But this is not about times. This is not about the mixture of running hard and running competitively.
Well, as you said, Peter, 8 men and just 2 places. This is really cutthroat 800-metre running here, and some real class in this field, as we've said before.
Murphy, El Manoui, Aman, Kipketer, Schott, Boss, Lopez, Kuipers. That is the lineup. Mix ages from Alfred Kipketer, who's just 18 years of age as we go through the field. Clayton Murphy, who's emerged this year as the Pan American Games champion. Student of corporate finance at the University of Akron in the USA. Amin El Manoui, a former World Youth medalist. Personal best of 1:44.96 a couple of years ago. So the Moroccan going in lane 3. Then the defending champion, Mohamed Aman, twice world indoor champion, world outdoor champion in 2013. But a bit of a question after he came 8th in the last 2 Diamond League meetings. Is he going to be at his best? 21-year-old, we'll soon find out. Alfred Kipketer, the youngest, 18, world youth champion, world junior champion the last 2 years. Now looking to make his first senior final. He's run 1:43.95. Then Adam Schott, fast finisher supreme. European champion last year, he won that easily. In Worlds, he's twice been a semi-finalist and was a finalist, 6th place in 2011. Pierre Boss, the French record holder at 1:42.53. Another finalist from 2013. He was 7th in Moscow. Sometimes fades in the home straight, having gone out a little too hard. Got to pace himself well. This man always good, runs well tactically. This is Kevin Lopez of Spain, multiple Spanish champion, former European junior champion. And then another man who likes to go out hard, Timon Coopers. Made the World Indoor Final last year, European Indoor Bronze earlier this year. He's got a best of 1:45.28. Favourites, the men in the middle. Mohamed Aman going in lane 4, Alfred Kipketer in 5, and Adam Schott in 6. So fascinating to see how the tactics work out here. Looks like Cooper's on the outside. He's wanting to make sure he's in a good place. Aman running pretty hard too. He's got Kipketer outside him. And those two joined by Schott. They're line abreast at the moment, with on the inside Adam and now Schott. So unusual to see Schott, but he wants to control it. Kuipers then coming across, 24.63, Steve.
Well, that's fast, and as you said, Peter, Schott doesn't usually go off like this, so I think he's worried. This first 2 to qualify is pretty cutthroat. He doesn't want to get at the back here and find himself lacking, even with the speed he's got of coming through this field at the last minute. So he's taking him through. Exceptional running from this man. You never really see this.
No, so coming up to the bell, it's the Europeans in the lead. Schott from Copers, then Adam and Kipketer, 52.33, slowed a little over the second 200 metres.
Not that exceptionally fast, but enough to make it respectable. Aman's on the inside, as you said, Peter, 8th in his last 2 races. Has he got now the form to show that he did in the last World Championships?
Coopers goes to the lead. Schott tries to hold him off and succeeds in doing that, holding that inside lane, showing he's got strength less. Adam and Kipketer looking strong. Boss coming through. He's timing his run so that he's ready for a late finish. Kipketer now into second behind Schott. Schott is increasing the tempo. We know what a finish he's got. It wasn't too fast early on, so he's got plenty left. And Aman is not seeming to be able to go at the moment, or is he? He's coming back on Boss, but he's got a lot to do. Coming into the straight now, it's just 2 to go through. Schott, Kipketer, Boss coming hard. Aman coming hard as well. They're going to be almost line abreast. Schott wins it. And I think it's Kipketer in second, and then Boss, and then Aman. But it was very, very close.
Well, over the back straight there, Aman got himself into all sorts of problems there, going into the Dutchman, and then finding himself having to be shut out the back before he could come round again and actually get himself into place. That's a costly mistake for this man. He's not in shape, maybe. He didn't run in a confident race. And in the end, I think it cost him bad. He's looking up at the scoreboard to see where he finished, and he's out of the first 2.
Well, actually, Steve, there might be grounds for disqualification there, because he ruined the Dutchman's race. He was doing all he could, Kuipers, to get himself in the hunt. Great run from Adam Schott, deciding to set the pace early on, get himself out of trouble and into the final, and he's done just that. We may get an opportunity to see that moment between Aman and Kuipers again, but I think the Ethiopian might be disqualified.
Here it is, just here. He's coming on the inside, Kuipers is on the outside. Now that's where Aman pushes him, and Kuipers really stutters and fumbles, and Aman, because of that, is pushed back onto the infield. I think you could be right. We'll have to wait and see about the jury of appeal on that. Aman from there on in, though, to his credit, he tried to get back. He's running faster than anybody else on his home straight and closing hard, but not closing enough. Bossa comes through, and in the end, it was the diminutive Kenyan, Kip Keter, which gets that second place.
And Aman has just pipped ahead the boss, 1:45.01 to 1:45.02, and that could be crucial.
Well, it has been, at best, a patchy season for the defending champion.
Well, there's confirmation of that run from Schott. Good run from him. Very good tactically shot with that winning time, 1:44.97. Kip Keter just edging it ahead of Aman with that time of 1:44.99, and then Aman 1:45.01. Wow, what an upset in that first of these semi-finals. Meanwhile, back on the track, the 800 metres semi-final, number 2.
The second semi-final of the men's 800 metres. Disappointment for the Australians who've made the journey here to Beijing. Jeff Risley not taking up his place on the outside in lane 9. What a stacked semi-final this is. Ali Said Al Duran, World Youth Silver a few years ago. PB this season just outside 1:45. Then a very talented young Russian, still a teenager, Konstantin Tolokonikov. European Junior silver medalist this year. He's got a lightning quick finish. So's this fella, Olympic silver medalist, Commonwealth champion, joint third fastest in history. Nigel Amos won in Birmingham, Lausanne and London. He's got the edge over his great rival, who is drawn outside him in the same semi-final. David Rudisha, the Olympic champion, the world record holder. Second in Lausanne, second in London. Lost the trials, but looked good in qualification for this semi-final. Has he once again peaked at the right time? From Burundi, a big improver a couple of years ago. He's not afraid to run hard in qualification or in semi-finals, Antoine Gakame. From Qatar, really quality athlete here, Musaeb Bala, twice the Asian champion. Reached the semi-finals 2 years ago, but he's a better athlete than that now, comfortably inside 1:44. Abraham Rotich, Kenyan now representing Bahrain, just 21 years of age, hasn't gone inside 1:45 this season, but at his best, he'd be right in the mix to get to this final. Al Duran of Saudi Arabia in 2. Tolokonikov of Russia in 3. Amos, Botswana 4. Rudisha there in your picture 5. Gakame, Burundi 6, Bala, Qatar 7, Rotich, Bahrain in 8. The second semi-final of the men's 800 metres. How will David Rudisha run this race? We know that his favoured tactic for the last 5 or 6 years has been to get to the front and hold on. But there were hints in the lead up to this championship that he might change that tactic. But look where he's gone. The majestic world record holder and Olympic champion has gone right to the front. Rotich on his shoulder. He looks comfortable and calm at the moment.
Good run from David. That was a good tactical move. He got himself out of trouble. He's a big man, long stride. He doesn't want it to be at the back or in the middle of this field. He's got to the front and he slowed it down. Now, they weren't expecting that. They were expecting him to go hard. So he slowed it down. And I think what they're going to see is David using his strength over the second half of this race. Whether the other athletes have got that ability to go with him, we'll have to wait and see. It's a big question mark. The time at the bell, 54. That's slow. By David Rudisha's standards, that's almost walking.
Well inside the last lap then on this second semi-final. David Rudisha all at a canter. There will be an explosion of speed at some stage soon as they head down the back straight. All men in this semi-final separated by just a couple of metres. Rudisha leads from Rotich. Bala's tucked on the inside. No move from Amos, the Botswanan, and coming wide on the outside, the teenage Russian, Tolkonikov, trying to get himself in the mix. Now Nigel Amos coming wide on the outside, that familiar leaning, lurching style of his. Rudisha looks up at the scoreboard. Only the first two guaranteed to go through to the final as of right. David Rudisha pulling away from the rest of the field. It's Rudisha. Amos just hanging on to second place, or did he lose out to Bala on the line? Great stuff there from David Rudisha. He judged that and controlled that perfectly, and actually his rival, his great rival, Nigel Amos, had to work very, very hard there. And bearing in mind how slow that was, 1:47.71, if he's finished in third, he won't be in the final. And Bala has got the nod for the second spot. So Nigel Amos, the Commonwealth champion, the Olympic silver medalist, will not be in the final. What a shock.
Well, Amos and Aman, the big two maybe threats to the Rudisha, have got out. What a great run, though, from the big man himself. He did everything absolutely right. They thought he was going to go hard all the way, but he eased off. And look at him looking at the scoreboard here, checking where everybody is. Now, these are some of the fastest finishes you'll ever see, and he can control it. The arms and legs are working hard. Bala on the inside, at this stage, is out of it. But you can see Amos just tying up so much over those last 2 or 3 strides, and Bala gets it. And because of the slow race, because it's not as fast as the first heat and probably will not be as fast as the third, I think he's out.
He's definitely gone. The Olympic silver medalist will not contest the final, and that will make a huge difference to David Rudisha. The Olympic champion, the world record holder, into the final, so too Bala, but the Commonwealth champion, Nigel Amos, goes out.
Well, the excitement dying down from that previous semi-final. We come to the third semi-final. The fastest man in the world this year, Amel Tuka, from Bosnia Herzegovina, goes in lane 6. There he is in the light blue vest. Let's go through the lane order. Rodriguez of Colombia, 3-time South America champion and Colombian record holder at the 800 metres. Best time 1:44.31, so he's a good performer. Looked good in qualifying, third in his heat. Then this young 19-year-old Ethiopian, Jenna Umar, fourth in his heat, the Ethiopian champion at this distance. And on the outside, perhaps one of the hot favourites, maybe Ferguson Chariot of Kenya, fourth at the Commonwealth Games. Big football fan, actually named himself after Manchester United's manager. And then on the outside of him, Nadir Belhabal of Morocco. The second in his heat, actually, very good, the tall Moroccan. And then the man which I think everybody's shocked this year, Amal Turku of Bosnia and Herzegovina, with that time of 1:42.51 this year. What a performance that was in Monte Carlo. And then a very good Polish athlete on his outside, 28 years of age, fourth in the last 2 World Championships, Marcin Lewandowski, a very good tactician, this man. If he's in the right place at the right time, he could do damage. Just outside of him, 22 years of age, Mark English of Ireland, fourth in, bronze medal in the European Championships. And on the outside there, Eric Sawinski of United States, twice the US indoor champion, so good at the fast finish. Amal Turku, what could he do in this race? Likes a fast race, but this could be a tactical one. Let's wait and see. They're off. Over the back straight at the moment on the outside. It looks as if Sawinska of the United States is going off hard, but they're coming through. And on the inside, I think it's Rodriguez of Colombia that's decided to move ahead. Maybe just a little bit of Chariot there. Chariot coming across. And then as Sawinska just coming through to shadow him, really. Well, he's got the name Rotich on there, but maybe his middle name, as Peter said before, but we'll have to look at that a bit later. On the outside of him, just behind him is Sawinska, running well, and then Rodriguez on the inside. The very tall Moroccan Belhabal coming through. Tuka, the fastest in the field, is about the 6th or 7th position at the moment. The time 52.01, so it's not that fast really.
Slightly quickest of the heats though, for all that.
Still not super fast really. Chariot just moving ahead now. That loping stride of his really just behind him. Sawicki of United States. Lewandowski obviously looking well. As I said, he's always in the right position at the right time, but it's Chariot at the moment that's moving ahead, looking very comfortable indeed. Lewandowski there, just remember it's just 2 to qualify. Tuka coming through now, looking good. Rodriguez still there on the inside. Can they hold on now? Chariot now is going to come back through. Chariot's holding them off. Tuka's coming fast to the outside. These two now, Tuka maybe even coming through to take it, but at the moment it's going to be Ročić, Chariot coming ahead. Tuka just gets it on the line, just behind him. Ročić, Chariot, those two comfortable. The winning time 1:44.84. So no major real problems in that race for anybody, I don't think.
Two things determined, I think, there. First of all, that the two fastest losers will come from Heat 1, those 1:45.01 and 1:45.02 times. And secondly, I was impressed by the way Tuka ran. Now, at the bat of the back straight, he was in, 7th place, steadily made his way up into about 4th, then into 3rd, and really seemed to have it under control all the way. And I think the top two were undoubtedly the best in the race.
I think the idea of these heats is to go through as comfortable as possible. Rudisha looked ridiculous in that previous semi-final. He just almost made it a jog, but this man looked good too. I mean, he did that wonderful time in Monte Carlo, and everybody thought that was a one-off, but I think he is capable of running that fast. He's actually coming hard now on a real class field here and making it look very comfortable.
That was a very, very good run from Tuka. I think he's proving at this championship so far that one-off time wasn't a fluke. He's been coming through the ranks sort of slowly and surely, European under-23 level. He's had a couple of decent performances. It has been a huge breakthrough this year, but tactically he seems very, very astute. That was really class.
Yeah, for someone that perhaps has just shot into the limelight, that was an experienced run, really. Coming down to about 400 metres, he was about 6th or 7th place, but he was in the right place. He was in the inside there without really getting pushed or shoved around. Lewandowski tried hard, but he died down this home straight. He made all the right moves, but he just didn't have the quality, I don't think, in his legs today.
And that underlines what a good finisher Tuka is, because on his day, Lewandowski is a good finisher, like his compatriot Adam Schott, but Tuka left him for dead there over the last 30 or 40 metres.
This was a cutthroat qualification, just 2 to qualify, and they all really knew that going into that race, but in the end, those two comfortably through to the next round. Oh, they're happy. Congratulating each other there. Well, this could be what would have been, I suppose, a fairly fascinating final. Has now changed dynamics somewhat with the loss of Amos and Aman in these semi-finals.
Well, Aman at the moment is in line to go through as the fastest loser, but there must be an investigation, surely, into that big shove on the Dutch opponent. Amal
Tuka's time there, 1:44.84. Ferguson, Chariot, Ročić. There's two names, always causes confusion there. 1:44.85 in 2nd place.
Well, there's a summary of the 800 metres. The list headed by Emil Tuka, the impressive Bosnian who ran 1:44.84.